Hello everyone, it's Lauren here from You Are Nourished, and welcome to this live prep along where I'm going to be preparing a couple of the dishes from the Shift the Sugar meal plan. In case you hadn't heard, my Shift the Sugar challenge kicks off on Monday, so just in a couple of days. And you know I love my meal prep, and one of the best ways to get organized for next week is to do a little bit of meal prep in advance of the challenge so that you're feeling organized, and so that when those cravings strike, you know you've got something healthy to reach for. So as part of the challenge, you get this amazing booklet, your meal plan, which includes a grid from Monday to Friday, breakfast, lunch, dinner and snacks for meat eaters and vegetarians, with vegan options as well, and some extra bonus recipes for people with oat intolerances and all sorts of other bits and pieces. At the beginning of the booklet, there's instructions on how to use the booklet. It's fairly self-explanatory, to be fair. Hi, Pauline, cooking along with me. That's exciting. You've got your, excuse me, you've got your shopping list. If you just buy everything off the shopping list, you'll have everything you need for the challenge. You've got a little prep guide there, which tells you what you need to prep and which days they're for. We've made the recipes super simple this time, so there's not very much meal prep that needs to be done. So the main meals are all pretty easy to put together in around 30 minutes at the end of the day. So not a huge amount of meal prep needed, which is great. Some of my other challenges have got more intensive meal prep, but this one we made it super simple because I know we're all busy, we've all got stuff to do, but you want to get results with this challenge, and that's why I've tried your recipes. Like I said, meat eaters, vegetarians, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, you name it, it's on here. And then a few extra bonus recipes at the back. Like I said, for people who can't eat oats, or extra vegan recipes. And if you look at the very, very back of the booklet, you'll find our world famous peanut butter granola, which was in the last challenge that we did. So you get that extra one just for free. Lovely to see so many of you joining me live. Really good to see you. Hi, Caroline from Australia. How exciting. We're officially global. I'm so excited. We've got people from all over the world joining the challenge this time. So welcome to you all, wherever you are across the globe. So one thing before I get started, and this is a shameless plug because we have just launched the You Are Nourished shop, which has been months in the making. You may remember, if you did my challenge in May, we had some lovely mugs that we gave away as prizes. Well, we've now expanded on that shop, and those products are available to purchase at shop.youarenourished.com. I'm modeling the Nourish Yourself t-shirt, as you can see, and we've got extra large mugs here. I am nourished, to remind yourselves that you are nourished daily. Time for a cuppa, you know, just to get that little moment of calm in the day. And we've got loads of different designs, beautiful water bottles as well, stainless steel water bottles. We've got hoodies and t-shirts and aprons and tote bags. Go and check it out. It's really fabulous. And we will be giving away some of these products as prizes during the challenge next week. So you want to make sure that you are taking part, and you are engaging in the group and commenting and sharing all of your light bulb moments and breakthrough moments with us next week, because there will be plenty. And I've just seen a comment from my mother as well. So hi, Mum. So shameless plug for the shop, but it's been months in the making, and we finally launched it this week. So go and check it out. Lots of things. And like I said, prizes from the shop next week as well. All right. So what are we cooking today? I am doing the obviously the flagship granola from the challenge, the salted dark chocolate and almond granola, which is to die for. And I'm also making one of the snacks, if I can get to it, which is the cinnamon toast crunch pumpkin seeds. And I don't know if you remember Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which was one of my favorite cereals as a child. I don't think they sell it anymore because it's got that much sugar in it that it would probably make your eyes water. So this is a nod to that gorgeous cereal with a lot less sugar. I'm going to start with the pumpkin seeds and get those in the oven, and then crack on with the granola. So we've just got some pumpkin seeds here. I've already weighed out my pumpkin seeds, just regular shelled pumpkin seeds. So the image on here, the original recipe, actually looks like they're kind of white, which suggests that they might have the shell on them. We don't want those. We want the green ones because we want to be able to eat them nice and easily. So I've weighed out 120 grams of pumpkin seeds, and I'm going to pop those into a mixing bowl like so. Easy peasy. I just want to show you how easy it is to create simple snacks that you can prep in advance and carry them in your handbag, put them in your glove compartment, put them on your desk, wherever you need for when that little crunchy craving strikes during the working day and you want to have something to satisfy that. So we've got our pumpkin seeds. We are going to have a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, and everything's just going in the mixing bowl. I need to remind myself of all the quantities. I don't know them all off by heart, unfortunately. Pauline's ordered a hoodie. Good on you, my lovely. Let me know how you get on with it. I've got 2 hoodies. I've got basically everything from the shop. That's why it took so long to get it all sorted out, because I made sure I ordered everything for myself. Right. Extra virgin olive oil, lovely source of monounsaturated fats. We are not to be frightened of fats, ladies. Let's not fear the fat. We will be covering all of this next week in a lot more detail. So that I managed to get pumpkin seeds stuck to my spoon. That's not good. Right. So pumpkin seeds, then 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Now, I know I'm going to get asked about this, so I'm going to cover it briefly now, but we will talk about it in more detail next week. Lauren, why are you putting maple syrup in a sugar-free challenge? Surely that is just another sugar. Well, it is processed by the body as a sugar. It is far lower in fructose and glucose than a lot of than refined sugars, basically. And it's pretty naturally occurring. It does contain some minerals. And also, whilst this is, to all intents and purposes, that's what I wanted to say, a sugar-free challenge. What I have found in the past is that when we eliminate all sources of sugar from the diet, it really does increase the risk of then going on a binge later on. So I want you to see that you can eat foods that taste sweet, that, contain things like maple syrup, and be completely fine with them, and still satisfy those little sweet cravings that you might have without reaching for a bumper bar of dairy milk, basically, which is what causes all the problems with the blood sugar ups and downs and the guilt and the shame and all the other emotions we associate around food, which, again, we'll be covering in huge detail next week. So we've got maple syrup, olive oil, half a teaspoon of salt. I don't know about you, but I love sweet and salty things mixed together. So there's my half a teaspoon. So if you're using something like sea salt, which I would recommend, it might be flakes. So you want to make sure that you break that up. Otherwise, you're going to get some large chunks, but that's nice as well. So half a teaspoon of sea salt. Use a good quality sea salt, Maldon or Cornish salt or Himalayan salt. Also great source of minerals. Give that a lovely mix. And then we're going to add some cinnamon, lots of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of cinnamon to this. Which is just going to be gorgeous. And cinnamon has actually been proven in clinical trials to help manage blood sugar. So it's a really good spice to use when you're trying to control your cravings, which is why this is an excellent recipe for this challenge. So that's a teaspoon. Well, we're going half a teaspoon. So I'll just use half of that. There we go. Oh, so good, so good. I love the flavor and the smell, the aroma of cinnamon is so good. Obviously, when you're doing this, you're not going to be chatting quite so much, so it's going to be a lot quicker for you. And we're just going to mix that all up together. You can see that's all gorgeous and sticky. Make sure all of your pumpkin seeds are nicely coated with the cinnamon. And then we're going to spread that out onto a baking tray and pop them in the oven at 130, so quite a low heat. So I'm going to get my baking tray. Let's hope the induction doesn't start beeping at me. Put that over there. And we're just going to decant this. The cinnamon is totally optional, Joanna. If you don't like cinnamon, you don't have to use it. Obviously, the title of the dish is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But no, if you don't like cinnamon, don't use it. Perhaps you would prefer nutmeg, or maybe some allspice if you want to sort of create some spice. But no, you don't have to use it if you don't like it. All right, so we're going to spread this out on our baking tray in a reasonably even layer. But what you'll find is when you cook these, it's going to go nice and sticky, and then it's all going to clump together. Oh, you're going to have a hard time resisting this. I'm warning you now. It is delicious. This makes 4 servings. Which might not seem like a lot. But what I want to say about that is if you do end up eating more, if this doesn't last you over 4 servings, it's okay. Just enjoy it. Don't worry too much about eating more or eating what is deemed too much. The serving suggestions are suggestions. if you are particularly hungry on that day, if eating more of this is going to stop you from, having a 12 bar, then this is going to be a preferable option. So it's all about weighing it up. Okay, there we go. Right, we're going to pop that in the oven, and yum. So good. So good. Right, in the oven this goes. And that needs half an hour. So while that's doing, I'm going to put a timer on, otherwise I will forget. Let's put I'm sure it's 30 minutes. Somebody remind me? Yeah, 30 minutes, stir at the halfway point. So we're going to have a 15-minute timer. Otherwise I will forget that. 15 minutes, there we go. All right. Can everyone hear me? Sheila says you can't hear me. No sound. I think everybody else. Ginger's a great idea. Yep, some ground ginger. I've got really sticky hands, so I'm just going to give those a little rinse. Ground ginger would be lovely. Do you know you can make it up? You can add lots of different spices if you want to. You could even make them savoury with maybe like some ground cumin or something like that. I haven't tried it, so don't quote me on that being delicious or not. All right, coming up next is the salted dark chocolate almond granola. And again, I'm sure you're all crying out, but Lauren, this is a sugar-free challenge. Why are we eating chocolate for breakfast? Because I want to show you that chocolate does not have to be the demonized food that it seems to be. So many of your comments, those of you who've already joined the challenge and joined the Facebook group, and you're leaving all of your stories, talk about your relationship with food, in particular chocolate and sweets and all of those kinds of things. And the reason why we have such a poor relationship with food is because we are told that we are not allowed to eat certain foods. They are naughty, they are bad, they are sinful. And we associate so much guilt and so much shame around these foods that we're not allowed to have. And that's where the overeating comes in. But when you are choosing healthy sources of these foods, 85% dark chocolate, which is really, really low in sugar. The higher the cacao, the lower the sugar. So try and go for a high cacao, at least 70%. You could go for completely raw, 100% cacao, like something like Willie's cacao or something like that. But it will be quite bitter, just be aware. But I love making this granola with 85%. It's really bitter and gorgeous. And it gives you like a fabulously chocolatey hit first thing in the morning. And why shouldn't you enjoy that? And that's going to be much less likely for you later on in the day to feel like you need to get that chocolate in. Because let's face it, chocolate does make us feel really good because it's delicious. It sets off all kinds of fireworks in the brain that make us feel fantastic. And it's a great source of magnesium, which as women, we are often deficient in because we are hormonally imbalanced and we are really, really stressed and using up lots and lots and lots of magnesium. So it helps to calm the nervous system, balance our hormones. It's really very, very good for us. So eat more chocolate, I say. Right, let's crack on. Let's crack on. Can hear you, but the text on the screen is covering what I'm doing with the ingredients. Oh, well, hopefully I'll be a little bit further back now. So let's start with the, I can't take it off, unfortunately. The oats. So I'm actually making half a portion of this. So the full portion, there was actually two versions of this meal plan. There was one that came out very early on where the quantities were a little bit off. So we've reissued it, and that came out earlier this week. And the quantities in the meal plan that are in the online portal serve 8, so there are 8 servings. So it's going to make more than you actually need for the challenge because we've got it in on 2 days. You can freeze it, or you can use it as an extra snack, or you can have it every day if you want to, and ditch the other breakfasts. So you are going to be making more than you need. So I'm making half of it. So I'm making 4 servings of this granola. So where have my scales gone? Here we go. So we're going to have 80 grams of oats. I just want to have a little word about the oats because I've made this with 2 different types of oats, and you really do need to make sure that you are using rolled oats. And what I mean by that is the larger flakes. So you don't want porridge oats, the quick cook oats, which are quite small. It just doesn't work as well. You want the rolled oats, basically. They've been rolled, they've been flattened, and that makes a much better granola. So just be aware of that. These are just regular jumbo oats. If you are gluten-free, you want to make sure you purchase gluten-free oats, not because oats contain gluten, But because they are regular oats are contaminated with gluten in the factory processing process, whatever, you know what I mean. So you want to make sure that you get gluten-free oats. I actually am gluten-free, although I can tolerate these quite well, so I'm fine with those. So we're going to have 80 grams of oats, 160 if you're making 8 portions. I'm just going to measure those out. I can't wait to have this again. This will be the 3rd week in a row. I'll be having this for breakfast. It's so good. Right, let's get my large mixing bowl. Pop those in there. So you want to do your dry ingredients and then your wet ingredients. So we're going to be melting the chocolate in a little bain-marie. So I'm just going to pop that on to start boiling up the water. That's the best way to melt chocolate. So we've got our oats, and then next up we've got ground flax seeds. Now, if you've not come across these before, they are available in all major supermarkets. Different brands are available. This is Linwood's, but I know that if you're going to Aldi, Lidl, one of those, they do them as well in their kind of like, you know, health products section. You want to make sure you are looking for ground or milled flax seeds or linseeds. It's the same thing, they're interchangeable. You want to make sure they're the ground ones, not the whole ones. These are an amazing source of plant-based omega-3 healthy essential fats that we need for our brain, for our immune system, to reduce inflammation. These are amazing also source of fiber for your gut health and really good for balancing hormones. Perimenopausal, menopausal ladies, these are really, really good for you to add to your routine. So we have got 35 grams going in to this, but you can add these to your smoothies. You can add these to your extra in your granola or what have you. The only thing you need to be aware of is if you are putting them in a smoothie, they do swell up. They absorb a lot of liquid. So you're going to get a very thick smoothie if you leave it standing around for too long. But this is a great food for you to start eating, especially women. So 25 grams of flaxseed. It's 35 grams of ground almonds. So 25 grams of ground flaxseed going into the mixing bowl there. Next up are our flaked almonds. This is just the lazy man's version. You don't need to, you know, buy whole almonds and peel them and chop them and what have you. Just buy them ready flaked. This is your source of protein and healthy fats. Calcium, magnesium, all sorts of vitamins and minerals in your nuts. Do not fear nuts, ladies. I know those of you who've been on diets and low-fat plans and what have you have been told you mustn't eat nuts. You must eat nuts. They're very good for you. 35 grams of flaked almonds. And they help to balance your blood sugar. This is the thing. When you're on a really low-fat diet, you're just not eating enough. And this is going to keep you fuller for longer, which means that you are not reaching for all of those sweet things later in the day. Really good blood sugar balancing breakfast. We've got whole grains from the oats, slow release carbohydrate. We've got healthy fats and fiber from the flaxseed. We've got healthy fats and protein in the nuts. It is a complete breakfast. So although it sounds naughty and indulgent and what have you, it's absolutely bursting with nutrients and really, really good. Can you use mixed seeds in the cinnamon crunch? Yes, absolutely. You can either swap the pumpkin seeds for sunflower seeds, or you can use a mixture together. That would be lovely. Right, so, and then a little bit of sea salt in with that as well, because who doesn't love salted chocolate? I don't know anybody who doesn't love salted chocolate. There we go. So Lindsay has said, I have a packet of milled seeds with flax chia. Yeah, I think those would work really, really well, as long as they are a fine consistency. You don't want them too chunky, but I think those would work really, really well in this as well. And also really good for you. You've got a real variety of different fats in there. So yes, absolutely go for those. So those are all the dry ingredients in the big bowl here. Now, let's pop that out the way. Now we're going to melt. I'm taking up too much space in my kitchen. I'm making a mess. Right, that's starting to boil. We're going to get our chocolate. So 25 grams of dark chocolate for 4 servings, 50 grams of dark chocolate for 8 servings. That's not a lot, right? It's really not, 25 grams. I'm going to be showing my my mental math skills here. I do have a maths A level, but it was a very long time ago. So for 4 servings, what's 25 divided by 4, anyone? It's not much. And that's how much chocolate is going into your serving. Not much. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. This is purely for, you know, for the flavor and, you know, the nutrients that you get from the chocolate. Right. So we want to break it up quite small. Let's make sure that's not over boiling. So that's 2 large squares of the Lindt chocolate. Let's weigh those out, break them up. Oops. So that's 20 grams. So probably another half of one of those. 25.3. I mean, that's pretty bang on. So not much in 4 servings. So for those of you worrying, oh, but this is going to spike my blood sugar. And I know there's a lot of people on the challenge with diabetes and pre-diabetes, you know, maybe worrying about these foods. 6.25 grams. Thank you, Tamsin. 6.25 grams of chocolate, you know, per serving. It's hardly any. It's barely even, you know, a consideration. So if you are worrying, you know, this is why are you using these foods? They're going to spike my blood sugar. They're not. And you've seen the larger proportion of foods that are going into this granola that are going to balance your blood sugar, keep you fuller for longer, stop you having those mid-afternoon cravings, those mid-morning cravings. And it's really important that you eat breakfast. So if that's the only habit that you start getting into as a result of this challenge, then my work here is done. Lots of people skip breakfast because they're not hungry in the morning and then end up, you know, hoovering all sorts of things in the afternoon. Eat breakfast, especially one like this. Right, so in goes the chocolate and coconut oil. Fabulous, so good for you. 25 grams of coconut oil. So let's measure that out. I'm not too sure how much that is, but I need a tougher spoon. Coconut oil is solid at room temperature. A tablespoon of coconut oil. There we go. That's all I need. 25 grams of dark chocolate. I'm looking in the wrong place, ladies. 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. And coconut oil is one of the only oils you should really be using for cooking. Again, this is something I will go into in more detail during the challenge. It's very, very stable at high temperatures. It doesn't spoil. It's not a trans fat. It's not going to give you heart disease. It's not going to raise your cholesterol. It's really, really good for you. The body breaks it down in a totally different way to other fats. So it's a really healthy oil that you should be using. And a tablespoon of maple syrup. 1 tablespoon across 4 servings. I know that's only 1/4 of a tablespoon per serving. So, whoop, there's a little bit of extra that went in there. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. It's so good. It's so, so good. Right, that's all starting to melt. Let me get a spatula. There we go. So you want to melt it in this bowl rather than directly in a pan. That's just a much better way of melting chocolate. You must remember this from your home economics days, ladies. How to melt chocolate. I mean, the smell is just out of this world. Why would you not want to eat this for breakfast? And this is part of your journey towards having a healthier relationship with food. Looking at this and feeling happy and joyful that you're going to be eating it next week, rather than feeling shame and guilt that you've eaten it and you're not supposed to, because you have full permission to eat this and you know it's doing you good. So this is step 1 in your journey to allowing yourself and giving yourself permission to eat all sorts of foods without feeling guilty. Heaven, right, that's all melted and glossy and gorgeous. And now we are going to decant that into the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to try not to burn myself on that. I think I'm going to go for a little tea towel. Might go for a tea towel. It's so great to see so many of you joining me live. Very exciting. Have you all signed up for the challenge? Let me know in the comments. Are you all in? Or are there people who are still sitting on the fence? Get off that fence. It's only a £5. I mean, literally, I'll change your life in a week, I promise. Anyone who's done it before, tell them. I'm going to change their lives. All right, let's mix this up. Oh my goodness, heavenly gorgeousness. Mixing it all up. Make sure that it's all covered. So you want to really get in there and make sure that everything is mixed and everything is well covered. Probably should have mixed up the dry ingredients before I put this in, but it's all good. It's all good. So you want to make sure that you're, again, coating as much as you can. So really using one of, oops, I don't want to waste any. Use a silicone spatula to kind of press it all down and coat it. Signed up, life changed and happy. Lauren will change your life. We've got double Paulines in the challenge today. Food shopping arriving tomorrow. Amazing. Amazing. It's such a great week, honestly. It's just fun. It's just really good fun, and you're going to love it. You just get to eat really delicious food and listen to me witter on all week. So what's not to love? Okay, that's looking good. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty well covered. Pauline, I love you. Bless you. Right. Let's decant. So I'm going to get rid of this so that I don't have an accident. Accidents in the home, as my mother would say, account for, I don't know, lots of accidents. Let's have a little tidy up, shall we, as we go along. Not best at that. Okay. That's the timer for the pumpkin seeds. So let's get those out, and my oven gloves are not in sight. We're going to be using a tea towel. Okay. Woo! They smell good. So we're going to get these out at the halfway point and just give them a mix around. I think I'm going to need yet another spatula. There we go. It's good I've got so many. So we just want I'm going to need this, so don't be beeping at me. There we go. Mix them around. What you'll find when you take them out at the end is that they do seem a bit solid, a bit kind of like gooey still. So just let them cool, and that's when they'll all kind of stick together. But the idea of cooking them on a lower heat for longer means that they don't burn, because they can, pumpkin seeds can burn quite quickly. We have another recipe in one of our previous Shifter Sugars, tamari pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds, by the way, are another amazing source of omega-3 and omega-6 oils, essential fatty acids that we need, and also a really great source of zinc, which is brilliant for the immune system, and another one that us ladies need for hormonal balance. So, you're really getting it all here. Okay. Oh, right. Pop those back in. There we go. So they will need another 15 minutes. So what you're probably going to need to do, let me just do that. So this is obviously ready to go in, but they are cooking at different temperatures. So where you've got the pumpkin seeds on at 130 fan oven, these cook at 160 in a fan oven. So you can either just wait for those to finish and then, whack up the oven and pop these in, or use two ovens if you've got two ovens. I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to wait on camera for them to finish, because I think you'll just get bored. But I'm going to just get this ready. Once the pumpkin seeds are ready, take them out, let them cool, whack up the oven to 160 and let that come up to temperature, and then pop your granola in. So I thought that was hot, but it's not. Make sure this is well spread out. Also, depending on the quantity that you cook. So like I said, I've cooked 4 servings, but if you're cooking the 8 servings, you might need a bigger baking tray, or just, make sure that it's well spread out. You'll also need to keep an eye on it, because the thinner it's spread out, the greater the risk it has of burning. So just keep an eye on it. And again, once this comes out of the oven, it will still look quite soft, but you just let it cool, and then it'll all be nicely crunchy. Oh my goodness, so good. Right. So we have suggested that you eat this with, excuse me, I'm going to take some water out of my Nourish Yourself water bottle. Plug, plug, plug. So we've suggested that you serve this with raspberries, because chocolate and raspberries is one of my favorite combinations. I know it's a little weird that we have a recipe for raspberries, but it's really just to, it's to make sure they were uploaded into the shopping list. So the raspberries that you see on their own, it's not a recipe for putting raspberries into a bowl. I know you're all a lot more intelligent than that. It's because they accompany the granola. But if you don't like raspberries, if you're allergic to raspberries, if you couldn't get raspberries, then use any other fruit you want. This would be great with strawberries. It would be great with pomegranate, mango I've had it with. So whatever you want. Also, if you would rather not get fruit that's a little bit out of season, then frozen fruit is a brilliant option as well. So I always have a great stock of frozen fruit in my freezer. So you can just let those thaw overnight, or what I sometimes do is I'll put a little bowl of like frozen raspberries, like I kind of did that, like in a little bain-marie, just in another bowl of hot water, and then those will defrost quite quickly. So it's completely up to you what you choose. There's a lot of raspberries in this plan, to be fair, because we've got the raspberries going with this, and we've also got frozen raspberries in the berry and yogurt smoothie, which is on the other days. So you can mix it up. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I can't have this and I can't have that and I don't like this, and you know, what if I don't eat exactly what's on the plan? You've got to make it work for you. We've got a lot of people who've said, I'm allergic to this or I don't like this. We give you loads and loads and loads of options in the notes section. So this little section here of the recipe where it says notes, it's gold. So make sure you read these, because we add loads and loads of extra information to this section to make it easier for you to swap ingredients around and give you extra suggestions on what to serve it with. So we have suggested that you just have this with almond milk and raspberries. Heavenly delicious, but you can have it with yogurt if you want to, plain natural yogurt or Greek yogurt, not flavored yogurt, not sugared yogurt, not low fat yogurt, just natural full fat yogurt. Or you can use, if you're intolerant to dairy, you can use coconut yogurt. That's not coconut flavored yogurt, that's coconut based yogurt. So there's a few different brands out there that do a coconut base, which is dairy free. Tamsin has got 5 kilograms of blueberries in her freezer. Incredible. Well, you could use blueberries for this. You could use blueberries in the smoothie if you wanted to, instead of the raspberries. So feel free to mix and match and chop and change. And when you become more confident in cooking like this, and you know, not necessarily following everything to the letter, you'll find what you like and you'll find what you enjoy, and you'll be able to kind of pick and choose. So I am going to let you go for the afternoon. I'm really excited to start on Monday. I really love this session. I love doing this. It's one of my favorite things. I could do it all day, but I know you've all got places to go, people to see. I'm actually feeling kind of hungry, so I think I'm going to have my lunch shortly. If you have not signed up for the challenge yet, what are you waiting for? Just seen Kathleen comment saying it's amazing. Sign up and make the investment in yourself. You won't regret it. Kathleen is one of our community mentors. We have 2 community mentors, both inside my membership and in your Shift the Sugar challenge next week. Kathleen is one of them. Christine is another one. They are amazing. They started out in this process just like you about a year ago. Christine started a year ago, Kathleen a little bit longer, and they came into this process exactly where you guys are right now, you know, with all sorts of issues around food and, you know, sugar addiction and overeating and all kinds of things, and they have done so amazingly well that I gave them jobs, basically. So that's how it works. Not always, but they are your mentors. They have been where you are, and that's why I wanted to have mentors in the group that understand you, that understand your challenges and can support you and show you there is a light at the end of what is quite a dark tunnel for some of you, where you're feeling these issues around food. So the mentors are incredible. The granola Claire gets baked for 20 to 25 minutes, but keep an eye on it. If, again, like I said, if you're not doing the full 8 servings, you might need to keep an eye on it. So 20 to 25 minutes, and it says there that it will seem soft, but will crisp up as it cools. Roll on next week, indeed, Joan. I'm super excited. So head to this link here if you've not signed up yet. The Facebook group's completely buzzing. I'll pop in there later on today, just so that you are aware. It is somebody's birthday tomorrow. Mine. It's my birthday tomorrow. So I'm going to be less available as I celebrate my big day, but I will be all yours, those of you in the challenge, next week. I cannot wait to kick off. Pumpkin seeds will be done in 8.5 minutes, and then those will go in. And if you've got any more questions about the challenge at all, just let me know. But we'll be doing so many Q&As next week. You're going to get literally like Q&As coming out your ears, and you will get all of your questions answered. All right, I bid you a fabulous Friday, a wonderful weekend, and I will see you inside the challenge on Monday for the first of our workshops, Nourish Your Body. Nourish Your Body, which is all about nutrition and all sorts of stuff. I can't remember. It's going to be great. I promise. It's fab. Right. Have an amazing. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you all 1 p.m. for our first workshop on Monday. Take care, everyone. Bye.